So today I wanted to walk you through something that I've seen many Bravo developers and also in general app developers struggle with, which is adding subscriptions to your app. The way I usually do this with Bravo Studio is I use RevenueCat. Bravo has a great integration with RevenueCat, and you can customize it to block certain content to certain users using different conditional logics pretty easily. So I'm going to show you how I usually think about this. So hopefully that makes it easier for anyone building their next app with Bravo Studio. So this is basically my mental model, right? So when I think about an app, I usually try to segment every side of the app. Of course, we have the front end and the back end, but with Bravo we have these different configurations and integrations that I find helpful to distinguish in this way. So on one side we have the design and front end side of things. So of course our front end is Figma and some configurations in Bravo. Then we have the RevenueCat configuration, and then we have the backend logic, which I usually use Xano. So it's a powerful backend tool and also fully integrated with Bravo Studio. So this is optional, of course. It depends how far or how complex you want to get with showing or locking certain content to people in your app. But let's go through each of these. I'll also show you where you can find all the documentation that Bravo has on integrating RevenueCat with your app. You can follow along. Hopefully this makes that documentation a bit more digestible or easier to understand, but in the documentation you will find everything. If you follow step by step, you will have your subscription ready in no time. So if we look at our design and front-end side of things, we first need the paywall page, right? So I will show you an example that I'm using in one of my latest apps, which is the Kōra app that lets you talk to different philosophers via voice chat. If you haven't tried it out, you can do so by searching for Kōra, or you can find it in the Bravo Studio website. Basically, this is my paywall, right? So as you can see, of course, you can use any design. You should actually research on the best growth tactics and copy variations to make it perfect and something that converts users. So that's something for a different video. But so if we look at our paywall page, you will see that we have certain tags that we need to add in order for Bravo to understand that this is the paywall, right? This is the page that will block certain content from free users, or certain pages from free users. So of course we'll need a page paywall tag. We will need an action purchase tag with our RevenueCat package ID, which we'll get to in a minute. And then the rest is just like UI or let's say UI, UX, or product thinking into what's the best way to build this page so it converts, right? So it convinces the user that if they pay, they're gonna get that value from your app. So in this case, you can do anything. In this case, I chose sort of a model and then a simple header with copy that speaks to the value for the user. Of course, there's a lot of different techniques or hacks that you can use here, but you should always lead with the value for the user. So here, in my case, I chose a carousel showing the free plan, what it offers. It offers you to speak to Socrates forever, but then if you want to speak to the other philosophers and through voice chat, and not only through text, then you will need to unlock the Plus membership. So all the tags, of course, I'm also happy to help if you need help building the paywall, also in terms of growth hacks or tactics, something I also love. But in order to build the paywall technically, you only need to come to the documentation page in Bravo Studio's website, look for RevenueCat. We'll leave the link below. And then you will see all the tags listed here. So the purchase action, as I showed before, then if you want to show the price, then you can also define the paywall with the page paywall tag. And then if we look at our Bravo Studio settings, you can see that this is the paywall page, right? And then what I have here is the different content, and then here I can set, I currently have no action set, but you can set any action after the user purchases. So go to page, or show an alert, or open URL, etc.